good afternoon. I am Professor Mark Whitaker of SUNY Korea, State University of New York in Korea, and I'm the designer of the CEM platform. CEM stands for Commodity Ecology Mobile Platform, and it's an effective mobile platform for managing global consumption and production. And there are three different factors or aspects of the platform that are useful, and they all come together. I'll illustrate that on the first slide, and then I will give you some more details. The first is, of course, the commodity wheel, or the commodity ecology diagram. This is a detailed list of 130 different social uses of commodities that is useful for developing a circular economy. The other aspect would be mobile phones itself. There are about 5 billion mobile phones in the world, and if you have a mobile phone-based platform that accesses and helps people develop a circular economy, then it's very useful. But it's even more useful if it's going to be connected to ecoregions, and there are over 800 different ecoregions in the world. So those three aspects come together: mobile phones, the commodity ecology, circular economy, as well as over 800 different ecoregions. And those merged on the same platform give us the Commodity Ecology Mobile Platform. Let me summarize a bit about that today. The point is, this Commodity Ecology Mobile Platform is an innovative mobile accessible platform to effectively manage the world's commodities and reach the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. That is the other major goal. The goal is to have sustainable production and consumption facilitated through this platform. And when you do that, by the end of this talk, you'll understand how that facilitates all other sustainable development goals. What are the aspects that make this platform unique? First, you have instant access. And with that instant access of mobile phones, you also have the global reach. But within the global reach, you also have a multi-regional, eco-regional reach as well. And of course, because it is a mobile phone-based platform, and because it is rolled out as a global platform, it is evenly affordable and accessible to all people. Plus, having the circular economy diagram that is shared across the world, this is an effective sustainable materials and consumptive management platform for those billions of people in the world today. And I will illustrate those factors in a bit more detail now. For some more background about myself, as I said, I'm the chief designer and the research head, Dr. Mark Whitaker, and I am a professor at the State University of New York, Korea campus, located in Songdo, Incheon, in Korea. For over 20 years, I've been designing and perfecting an easy-to-use, affordable platform that allows people to use their mobile phones to manage their resources vital to their livelihoods and the environment. It's called the Commodity Ecology Mobile Platform, and the commodity ecology itself, what does that mean? That means it is a term given to the most complete example of a circular economy. And what is commodity ecology? It is the most complete example of a circular economy with 130 categories of the world's sustainable materials, commodities, depicted in the CE wheel, or Commodity Ecology Wheel. And what are some of the categories here? Textiles, dyes and colorants, building materials of over 15 different kinds, semiconductors, non-conductors, superconductors, you name it. These are all social categories that have been historically invented over world history, and particularly in the last 200 years, a lot of additional categories have been invented in our more industrialized society. What can you do with the Commodity Ecology Wheel and this circular economy? It's necessary because it is key to making better material choices and better waste management, since it identifies how useful recycled wastes go back into profitable production in another material category. As a result, environmental pollution is also decreased. But not only environmental pollution is decreased globally, but it's decreased in particular regions, because the CEM platform brings together all ecoregions through the mobile phone network. This allows all regions to effectively exchange information on sustainable materials and waste management in a quick, easy, efficient, and affordable way. What are ecoregions? I will talk about this in more detail in a moment, but ecoregions are geographic regions characterized by specific ecological patterns, like soil, plants, and animals, and microclimates. Let me talk to you about 3 levels of this platform and how they work together in more detail. CEM platform brings together all ecoregions, as I said, through a mobile phone network. The mobile platform allows all ecoregions to effectively exchange information on sustainable materials and waste management in this quick, easy, efficient, and affordable way. The first level of this platform is, of course, the mobile phone network. This is a network value of over 5 billion mobile phones from 2019. And why is that important? Because instead of a digital divide, there is increasingly a digital parity or a digital equality in the world dealing with mobile phone networks. And the CEM platform, Commodity Ecology mobile platform, takes advantage of that wide network of equal accessibility to mobile phones. And of course, because there is a greater digital parity, it works very well across multiple ecoregions of the world, even within sub-Saharan Africa. As of, I believe, last year, over 1 billion mobile phones even exist within Africa. So the point is that greater digital parity is developing around the world, and this platform can facilitate people to use their mobile phones across all ecoregions, developed or less developed. Plus, what are they doing in each of those ecoregions? You guessed it, they are using the commodity ecology circular economy ideas to post useful ideas about materials and sustainable links between different categories in all regions of the world using their mobile phones. And there is thus a synergy connecting all of these 3 levels together in this particular platform. And you can reach all material uses by using the same framework of commodity ecology in all of these regions where all of these people are using the same mediums of communication because of a greater digital parity in those technological communication networks. Next, what can users do on this platform? Users can post as producers or as consumers about current sustainable materials available in any of the regions. They can post about future goals or business incubation desired in a particular region, in a particular commodity category. They can post about tradable wastes per category, which is very crucial in creating a sustainable society and a circular economy. This will help remove waste from being dumped back into the air, water, or earth, and instead putting them to effective economic use in other areas of production. Users can view, thus, and communicate on all regional projects and share ideas for linking sustainable materials and wastes in a circular economy. And this feeds the CEM platform with the latest information on sustainable materials and consumption all the time. There's 2 images I want to show you, and they epitomize the synergy that is developing on the CEM platform. This is the current front page of the platform. It is available for you to look at yourself at this prototype website. And the home page is that ecoregional map. Notice for yourselves, I am logged in as M. Whitaker, and it currently has tagged me in the Central Korean deciduous forests. Why? Because the home page may be the global ecoregional map, but each particular user is registered to a particular ecoregion where they can post within that region as well as post globally in ongoing conversation. The second image is the commodity ecology wheel diagram, or the list of 130 categories, converted into a digital form. And within each of those ecoregional categories, you do have this digital form of the commodity ecology wheel. And users in those particular regions can post in any of the categories they want. And they can post simultaneously things in multiple categories if they want. They can also label particular important wastes that come out of those categories that they're interested in solving or interested in selling. So the point is, in each ecoregion, the commodity ecology wheel is the same, of 130 material uses for ongoing posting debate, and business incubation. Now let's bring these two images together. Users can click on any ecoregion, this is a clickable map, and see the same view of 130 material categories of the CE wheel, but with unique information for each region and materials, because each user is posting to unique ecoregional dynamics for their own local circular economy. So if you notice, it's easy to manage sustainable materials and consumption in a quick, efficient, and cost-effective way globally on one platform, that everybody has their own discrete ecoregional zones, but they also participate in a global conversation. This is very similar to a virtual community, but it's a virtual community that brings people together to debate about a real geographic community. So when these two ideas come together, the CE wheel, 130 of the same material categories, but with distinct area information for each region and each material, what do you have? You have every region in its own localized debate about a circular economy facilitated on one platform, and you have a globalized view at the same time, because there is a global wheel as well in which people can post and tag their comments as well as posts on a global side. So it's effectively a debate globally and it's a debate locally about using virtual communities to create real geographic debate in particular regions. Let me talk more now about the three sections of the platform once more. First, with the mobile phone networks themselves, you get instant access. The CEM platform is accessible to all people with a mobile phone. As I said, as of 2019, that's a total network value of over 5 billion people. And using mobile phones is a cheap and effective way for all communities within ecoregions to begin this debate about a sustainable society and arrangement for themselves. The second level of this platform is the global reach, but it's also a multi-regional reach. And the metric is using ecoregions. As I said, ecoregions are about 867 different ecoregions around the world that have been mapped since the 1980s. And these have been digitized and put onto the platform as the way in which a circular economy debate is being facilitated for each of those over 800 different areas, and for a global level debate as well. And ecoregions are geographical regions characterized by specific ecological patterns, including soil health, flora, fauna, plants and animals, climatic conditions, among other factors. The third level is the commodity ecology diagram, or the commodity ecology wheel, is an effectively detailed way to get toward a circular economy. In all of those 867 ecoregions, specific commodities are categorized by using the same framework of 130 uses. And that allows us to call the CE wheel as the world's only archive of all sustainable materials. That is where we get into the Sustainable Development Goals. The CEM platform, or the Commodity Ecology Mobile Platform, was designed to facilitate Sustainable Development Goal number 12. What is that? That is sustainable production and consumption. How do we achieve that? Yes, we can achieve that by allowing and enfranchising global civil debate in regions and for the entire planet on one platform, and sharing all the good ideas for linking sustainable production and consumption systems. And this will build an interest across the world for very fine-grained circular economies, as well as an interest in sharing ideas across multiple regions, because they're all using the same platform. This is how all three of those work with the Sustainable Development Goals. Here is number 12, responsible consumption, and it should say and production. What are some of the other goals? We have the CEM platform could encourage no poverty, no hunger, good health, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, clean energy, good jobs and economic growth, innovation in infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, as I said, responsible consumption and production, protect the planet, life below water, life on land, peace and justice, and partnership for the goals. The interesting thing is when you begin to achieve Sustainable Development Goal 12, my argument is you will begin to achieve all these other Sustainable Development Goals. Why? Because you are removing material problems, and material problems solve the material Sustainable Development Goals. What are those? Those are things like, good health, clean water and sanitation, clean energy, sustainable cities and communities, protect the planet, life below water, life on land. And when you remove a lot of the environmental problems of the world, you remove a lot of the environmental inequalities upon those that do not participate equally. So therefore, you are integrating a lot of partnership for the goals among groups that are not typically enfranchised in such development projects. Plus, you are encouraging them to develop solutions for their own poverty. You are encouraging local systems to avoid hunger. You're encouraging quality education, which can be developed across and inspired by the Commodity Ecology mobile platform as well. Gender equality is addressed as well on another aspect of the web service here. Notice how this would also develop towards good jobs and economic growth, innovation and infrastructure, and reduced inequalities as well, and peace and justice. That is how one goal can potentially catalyze the successful completion of all of these Sustainable Development Goals. Let me introduce a bit about the CEM team that we have. There's 4 of us right now, and of course that is me on the left, Chief Designer and Research Head, but I have 2 senior advisors, one for Global Strategy and Development, and one for East Asia and Pacific academic partnerships, as well as a program coordinator that I will all talk about right now. I'm very happy to work with this team. They're a very solid team, and it's a privilege to work with them. Professor Joseph Kamaway is a senior management consultant and former executive director of the Asia Society Korea Center. He has spent 10 years assigned to the UN Secretary General's office, over 2 Secretary Generals. And he conducted worldwide presidential business liaison activities and global security coordination. He is also vice president for a time of the global business strategy and investor relations for the City of New York City Economic Development Corporation. So he knows a lot about business incubation, development, and global partnerships. My senior advisor for Asia Pacific and academic partnerships is a Korean national, Kyung-Chul Shin, or Shin Kyo-Senin, and he brings a lot of knowledge about dynamics within the East Asian zone. He is executive director for the Center for Global Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Kyunghee University, and he's also the country director for the Academy of International Business. So with these networks on the international level, and as well as across all of Asia, it's a very solid network of partnerships that we are developing institutionally as well as in personnel. I would also like to introduce Ms. Sarah Lee, who's our program coordinator, and she's a PhD candidate and is coordinating our global outreach programs, but also doing sustainable commodity ecology research for me as well on the particular materials. She has also worked for the Korean government previously before her graduate degree, and was global project specialist for the Korean government dealing with telecommunications. And so I have a very solid team with a lot of governmental connections, East Asian and Asian connections, and international connections. Also, there have been several other ways that this platform has been discussed and popularized around the world. I'll talk about those in 3 levels. I have some support, what are our networks of support, and what are some presentations and groups that have been interested in hearing about the CEM platform before. First, currently we have support from the Korea National Research Foundation in the category of ICT and sustainability. This is toward a team that is researching sustainable materials. It is a 3-year grant, and I've hired already 6 people, and they are busy every week researching sustainable materials. This will be the data that will go into the global side of the Commodity Ecology Platform to entice people to realize there are wonderful sustainable material ideas already in existence that are just not collated and brought together yet for discussion about how they would link together within a sustainable economy and a circular economy. Additionally, we have networks of support, as I said, across some of these institutions. The National Research Foundation, of course, is represented here by the Ministry of Education of Korea and the National Research Foundation of Korea. However, we also have other wider global networks, and this is related to the UNEP, United Nations Environmental Program, the ongoing discussions about the CEM platform with Dr. Tripathi, who is Assistant Secretary General and Head of the Office at the UN Environmental Program. I met him in 2019 within his office, and we discussed the Commodity Ecology Platform and its mega-scale ideas for development in a circular economy and achieving human development and ecological development simultaneously. Other organizational connections on the United Nations are mentioned here. We have the academic impact, and this is connected to ongoing discussions with UN Academic Impact Office of Mr. Rami Damodharan. The CEM platform is featured on the UNA website. They've made a nice summary of this platform for me to popularize it on a UN website. Additionally, presentations about the CEM platform have been given at UN headquarters, in the Secretariat building, to senior UN officials and former UN ambassadors in 2019, when I visited both Dr. Tripathi and Dr. Damodharan. Additionally, I have also visited the Asian Development Bank in Manila, Philippines in 2019 to give a presentation about the Commodity Ecology mobile platform. And of course, Dr. Shin, who is our coordinating specialist for Asia and Asian outreach, he brings his connections as country head of the Academy of International Business within Korea. So we have a very solid team and personnel that bring a lot of institutional connections already, and we would be very, very happy if you were interested in joining us. So that's what I want to talk about, and that's the most crucial point. What is the near future for this platform? It already exists, the prototype is online, where is this going, and what do we plan to do as a team about this project? The platform in the future, technically, will use comprehensive analytics and big data to quickly gather knowledge on producer markets and consumer preferences in all sustainable materials in each specific region of the world in one platform. The CEM platform will optimize its operational efficiency by using blockchain technology to conduct smart contracts and transactions in the future as well. So this will not only facilitate the sharing of good ideas, but this will facilitate the clearing of good ideas and trades towards a circular, sustainable commodity relationship across multiple ecoregions of the world. Let's talk about the rollout. The rollout is the plan. We can talk about a technical plan and we can talk about a social plan. And I have 2 slides which talk about each. The first issue is this team has planned a route, technical and social project completion, involving stakeholders and a budget that I will share with you in a moment as well. For the rollout of the technical plan, route to project completion, we need to finish the centralized prototype in faster bandwidth countries. This is completed by the end of this year. After this, we begin work on the decentralized prototype for lower bandwidth countries to reduce bandwidth costs for consumers and to improve loading times. Because even though there are over 5 billion mobile phones in the world, equal access to bandwidth and the costs are very unequal. So it's very important to tailor this website to lower bandwidth countries as well as to places where bandwidth is more costly if we are serious in enfranchising billions of people on the same platform for developing their own circular economy models and allowing civic participation in their own future. Additionally, this means we have to have 3 levels of technical testing in 3 different bandwidth areas. Already the testing is undergoing in South Korea, But the slow bandwidth is planned to roll out into the Philippines and testing in there with a team there, and middle level assuming to be Thailand. So the point is we're going to be programmatically testing the current platform in multiple areas of different bandwidth and durability to see how we can improve the platform across the world, despite having 5 billion mobile phones, having a lot of inequity within the cost and the bandwidth. Additionally, this means we're going to have 5 technologies integrated into the final professional decentralized version to assure this global rollout. What are these 5 different technologies that will be integrated into the future rollout of the platform? This is some parts of the platform will remain in the mobile memory for the mobile phone for faster loading, IPFS, which stands for Interplanetary File System, invented by Juan Benet. It is an addition to hypertext, which allows a very durable, locally sourced arrangement for how you retrieve information. This is contrasted to a centralized server. So in other words, mobile phones themselves may serve as nodes for downloading more localized information from people in that local ecoregion, as well as people who would like to give their other hardware time or bandwidth time to host local nodes. This is the ideal rollout to employ a more decentralized web experience that is more durable over time for all groups. Number 3, adapt Bluetooth connectivity between mobile phones as well to further reduce bandwidth problems for people who have them. Bluetooth, of course, means you have mobile phones connecting to each other as their own base stations in a decentralized ad hoc network. Also, we have to develop strong encryption strategies for data and passwords, and blockchain and holochain protocols for security and for facilitating smart contracts. That would be the ideal technical route to completion. Additionally, I said, for the near future, the rollout also has a social side. And the social side implies we need to pollinate the use of this platform, and to do that, hiring and training will occur in at least one country in each of the world's 14 different cultural regional zones. There's a very good book by 2 geographers published over 20 years ago called The Myth of Continents. And instead of continents dividing up particular cultures and regions, they argue from modern history, dealing about 500 years, the world currently has 14 different meta-geographies, different meta-regions. And these are regions that have a common cultural background. So it's part of this rollout of the social side to choose 14 countries in those 14 regions and find allies within each of those, train them and certify them and get them interested in the Commodity Ecology mobile platform and what it can do for their own regional sustainable development. So the first countries will pollinate the CEM goals to the rest of the region and thus the whole world. The first chosen countries are listed below, and in the interest of time, I will not speak those 14 countries. But the idea is this is the social rollout goal to completion. Additionally, we're going to hire CEM platform representative and an office space. This will be secretarial and for travel invitation budgets. We will either train in the country the trainers by bringing them to Korea, or we will be online doing this. And the trainers will be recommended by government or NGOs of the said country. And this training or certifying of them will be whether in-house or virtually via online discussion, or both. And who do we want to invite simultaneously from the same country? A group of 6 different sectors, or people or representatives that are all interested in developing their own local circular economy and facilitating that for their own local sustainability and for achieving the sustainable development goals in their area. We want to bring in academics, specialists in economic development, particularly in disaster risk reduction, of vulnerability for people in disasters. We want to team with telecommunications industry who are interested in mobile-based development. We're interested in alliances and teamwork with software designers who are familiar with low bandwidth issues in mobile phones around the world. We're also interested in aligning with bankers and financiers, particularly those who have already funded online commerce in some way in the country in question. We would be interested in also an ongoing relationship with a government official or NGOs that in those particular countries interested in environmental impact assessment and DRR, which is disaster risk reduction. And the sixth, we were interested in inviting alliances with social movement organization members and leaderships of those countries involved, particularly if they're involved in urban pollution problems and agricultural and rural pollution problems, because the Commodity Ecology mobile platform can help enfranchise civil society to develop a debate forever, or for as long as a mobile phone network of society exists. The near future, what is the budget for these technical and social rollouts? To achieve technical and social project completion, the CEM teams study the technical requirements, the training space, and the hiring options. And we will present this budget proposal in those three parts in the next slide. The budget, first, as I said, the technical budget. Online servers, technical staff, animator of social media advertising. We're always interested in aligning with people like that. So please contact us if you're interested in funding or working for us or with us. Office space budget. Ideally, the CEM platform headquarters will be either in the IBS Tower or Synth Road building in Songdo, Incheon, which is just one block from the global NGO and UN agency headquarters in the government building of the G Tower of Songdo, Incheon. And the two options there are not important to have a lot of detailed discussion about right now. But if you're interested in helping us, we would gladly accept aid, financial, or advice for moving this forward with office space or with a technical budget. The office staff budget also, training coordinator, at least one full-time staff office, one full-time office staff is necessary for secretarial work, social media, advertising outreach, and international coordination of the training program itself. Also, ideally, the research assistance budget will be added into this office staff budget for quickening of the 130 categories of research about sustainable materials. This is ideally going to be done in a crowdsourced way when the platform is fully operational. By the end of a few years, 130 categories will be complete in the budget that I've received from the Korean National Research Foundation. However, to quicken this and to make more ideas available at a faster rate, we asked for additional research funding beyond the Korean research grant. And this budget would be for further exploratory commodity research to more quickly finish the 130 categories of research. And this research will fill the global side of the website and will be the data about real-world sustainable options now that will draw people to the CEM platform. It is my argument, which is not very controversial, but it may be provocative. Why is it provocative? Because I say all the things we need for a sustainable circular economy already exist. It is just not being applied. And I think the more people become aware that each of these 130 categories have excellent sustainable material ideas and technologies, these parts will naturally find each other and make a more sustainable world, region by region, as well as obviously globally as well. And that's our budget. So the timeline, as I said, by this year, we are finished with the CEM platform prototype. It has 3 levels, the commodity wheel and the posted sustainable material research from the Korean NRF grant to encourage solving sustainable material problems comparatively worldwide. It also has sections for local citizen hero recognition and invitation to the website to bring people together by current users recruiting the next level of users. Additionally, there's gamification that is integrated onto the website, both to encourage reuse of the website as well as literally for education. Gamification means using game motifs to encourage people to learn something. And that is already integrated into the current platform as of this year. Within 2 years, with the grants and with facilitated aid, We will have added features of centralized platform done by integrating blockchain, smart contract facilitation, and big data analytics. We will additionally have begun the decentralized and more self-maintained versions of the CEM platform developed via IPFS, as well as Bluetooth technologies. Additionally, within 3 years, what we want to do is completion of 3 rounds of the CEM training and certification on this platform capacities across a total of 42 different countries. That's 13, 14, right? 14 times 3. And that will allow us to reach about a little bit over 1/3 of the world's, about 1/4 of the world's countries. So, building the dream where we want you. We want you to join us. We're interested in hearing your ideas, your feedback, your options, or your ideas for future funding or collaboration with us. We welcome expansion of our team. We already have a team of 4 major program operators. We have a team of 7 researchers in sustainable commodities, and we would like that to grow even larger. The point is, we want, in the months and years to come, our team is on a mission to build the CEM platform as an organization, and we are seeking strategic partners from the public, from nonprofit, non-governmental, and corporate sectors. We are also looking for funding sources from corporate and public sector leaders to establish our office, install our technological platforms, and to launch global training programs for the CEM platform. This is one of the last slides. To summarize, the CEM platform gives you all of these things. You have instant access because you have access to 5 billion phones. And because you have access to 5 billion phones, you have the global reach. And you have the global reach not only on a global level of debate in a virtual community, but you have global reach across multiple real geographic regions for discussion about future sustainable goals. And that is obviously a very effective way for cost and for commodity management itself. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to having discussions with you in the future. And please, if you're interested, you can contact me, Dr. Mark Whitaker, Chief Designer and Research Head, at this email, or please contact my Senior Advisor for Global Strategy and Partnerships, Professor Joseph Cadaway, at this particular email. Thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you for your attention.